Happy Monday and welcome back, my YouTube friends and family, or if you're new here, welcome. This is Lindsay and I am back with more daily work from home job leads for you. In today's video, we have some data entry jobs. We have two different data entry jobs. They're towards the end of the video because I am going to talk a little bit about data entry and what data entry in today's remote work from home job kind of department looks like, specifically with AI and stuff coming on board. We also have a job that's paying you to enter orders and do some like order entry, processing, refunds. So hopefully we have a mixed bag, a little bit of something for everyone. I think most of these, with the exception of maybe one, does not require any kind of a college degree. As always, if you need links to get to the jobs, Glassdoor pages, or timestamps for the video, that can all be found in the YouTube description box below the video. So first up, we have American Specialty Health. They have 554 reviews from past and current employees, an overall employee satisfaction rating of 3.0 out of 5 stars. They are looking for a fitness reimbursement examiner. Now, this is going to be remote for the United States. Everything that I'm sharing is for the United States only. This one is only going to pay $15 an hour, but American Specialty Health often hires without a lot of experience. So they do kind of pay on the lower end. It's more of like an entry-level company to get into, but you will be trained remotely and you have to be able to work from home. So you have to have a dedicated workspace in your house where you can work, stable internet connection. They're looking for somebody to process reimbursement or refund requests accurately and efficiently. So people are going to be submitting paperwork or submitting claims or requests for reimbursement for fitness-related things that they bought, and you are going to review these incoming reimbursement or refund requests to verify all the necessary information is there. You're going to enter these into the system so that the processing can be requested and started. You're maintaining all required documents in the system that's needed, and you're just adjudicating reimbursement requests or basically processing them per the department policies, guidelines, procedures, all things like that. So just processing reimbursement or refund requests. Only requires a high school diploma, no college degree, somebody who can type at least 10,000 keystrokes per hour. You've got kind of like data entry experience using a computer. You can work around different software systems like those Microsoft Office systems. You can kind of problem solve situations that arise. You can kind of interact with your supervisors and teammates in a positive and respectful manner. So you have great listening skills, great communication skills. That's all that's really needed for this one. Not a whole lot of experience there. Now, next up, we have the company NuMotion hiring. They have 466 reviews with that overall rating of 3.4 out of 5 stars. They are looking for an order entry coordinator, again remote, for the United States. Now, the pay range for this position is anywhere from $19.16 an hour up to $24.90 an hour. So you can get almost $25 an hour. It does say it's not typical for somebody to be hired at the top of the range, but if you come in with a lot of experience, you might want to try to negotiate that. But they're looking for somebody to kind of be the go-between between their technology professionals and their DME or durable medical equipment manufacturers by reviewing quotes for accuracy and pricing, equipment parts, and discount structures, and of course, making sure that those are entered into the system. So you're working with vendor reps or vendor configurators to achieve 100% accurate duplication of order specifications. You're proofing the work, performing the quality control of the vendor quotes to submission into the computer system, verifying all product items are properly counted and included, the part numbers match, the retailer or dealer discounts match, and of course, you're kind of coordinating that customer care to ensure timely follow-up with client and making sure that the client's needs are met. So DME in the healthcare world is durable medical equipment. This is going to be any kind of equipment that needs to be sent home with the patient. So maybe like bedpans or crutches, or kind of think along the lines of things like that. So any kind of a parts, you're making sure that these orders for this medical equipment is entered into the system. Everything is contracted with the vendor correctly, gets dispersed to the patient. And of course, you might have to follow up with the patient, making sure that everything went smoothly and they got everything they needed. Only requires a high school diploma, and they prefer somebody who has 2 years of durable medical equipment experience, but that's not required as long as you can work in a fast-paced environment and you have at least 3 years of some kind of office environment experience, some kind of administrative type experience. You can be a problem solver and you have great communication skills. Now, next up, we have Skygen USA hiring. This is going to be another healthcare type position. They have 110 reviews from past and current employees with an overall employee satisfaction rating of 3.8 out of 5 stars. Skygen is looking for an appeal and complaint specialist. Now, it does say you can work anywhere. It doesn't look like they have any state restrictions, but they are looking for somebody to work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're outside of that time zone, you'll kind of have to convert your hours to see if that works for you. And they're basically looking for somebody to review, analyze, and process complaints and appeals that are coming in regarding dental and vision services specifically. And so normally what happens in the healthcare world is providers or healthcare facilities, doctors, hospitals, whoever provides service to a patient files a claim to their insurance to get reimbursed from the insurance company. Now, sometimes the insurance does not pay those claims, and they provide a reason of why they don't pay. And so your next point when you're trying to get these claims paid is you can either change the coding, change something on the claim to kind of fit the policies of the insurance company and send that claim back out kind of different from the first time you sent it. Or if you're going to send the same claim back out, you think that you've billed everything correctly and the insurance is in the wrong, you can appeal that decision from the insurance company. And appealing that means you normally send like medical records proving that, this patient needed this service, it was medically necessary, things like that. On the flip side of that, you can also file complaints. And so they are looking for somebody to kind of take in these appeals and complaints and enter them into the system. Of course, you're going to have to communicate internally with different staff members, providers, because you're going to be investigating these, collecting different documents for appeals, complaints, and grievances. You're doing accurate data entry of all this documentation into the system for reporting, trending analysis, and you're creating formal correspondence to confirm receipt. So you do have to let the doctor, provider, member, whoever is filing these complaints or appeals, let them know that you have received it. So that means sending them out a letter from the system telling them that it has been received. Only requires a high school diploma or GED, no college degree. They do want somebody who has 1 year of job-related experience. This can be insurance billing or anything that has been a problem-solving, researching, things like that. So you don't necessarily have to be in the healthcare field. If you have experience interacting with customers and clients, of course, you've got to be able to navigate computer systems, be effective in your communication, and do inventory management like data entry, be able to manage your time, have strong typing skills. Now, pay for this one is listed all the way down at the bottom. Pay is anywhere from $36,507 a year up to $54,761 a year. The midpoint there is about $45,634 a year. So they'll probably start you, since they call out the midpoint, I'm assuming somewhere right there around that $45,000 mark. Next up, we have Equitable hiring. They have 886 reviews with that overall rating of 3.6 out of 5 stars. They are looking for a claims intake specialist. Now, I do want to note on this one, they are based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but it does say it is remote for the United States. Now, this job may have a healthcare aspect kind of to it, but it's more on the financial side of kind of claims, specifically disability claims. They are looking for somebody to support the disability claims processing by performing administrative and simple financial tasks. So you're reviewing and verifying disability claims coming in, the documentation that's coming in with those, including medical records, claim forms, supporting paperwork, making sure that all of the information information that is needed for these claims to be processed is there. So if somebody is filing for disability, that's really a financial transaction. They're trying to get a paycheck coming in every month, week, whatever, without having to work a job because they are now disabled and can't work a job for whatever reason. And so there is going to be a little bit of a healthcare aspect to this. Medical paperwork has to be provided showing that a doctor has signed off that yes, this patient is disabled and cannot work for whatever reason. So you're basically ensuring that all this documentation is completed before it's handed off to the claims team that adjudicates and processes these claims and makes those decisions on whether, yes, this person gets disability reimbursement or no, they don't. So you're going to do a lot of the research related to the claims, like for missing information. So you're going to have to pick up the phone, make outbound phone calls, contacting the people filing these claims or the medical providers requesting that additional information when it's missing. And then you're doing a lot of data entry of inputting these claims into the system, just maintaining all the records, all the medical documentation, everything into the system. Now, this pays anywhere from $41,000 a year up to $55,115 a year. $55,000 a year is $25 an hour. Now, this one is the one I said that kind of is the only one that does kind of require a college degree. It says they're looking for a graduate in any stream. I'm assuming that means any kind of college degree. Other than that, they're just looking for somebody who understands medical terminology, who can work with computers, kind of multitask and adapt to ever-changing processes and workflows. So let's talk about data entry for just a minute. A lot of companies used to hire someone to do straight data entry. It was kind of reading off a scanned image or PDF document and taking that information and entering it into a computer system. Even though my job was not work from home way back in the day, I worked for a healthcare company literally doing just that, doing just data entry. Doctors would fax in forms or email in forms all the time. And those forms, we had a computer system that the information on those forms needed to be entered into our system because our system created like a little patient record or whatever. And then of course, once it was all in the system, you could move that patient around from department to department. So once we entered the data, we could send it to like a social worker or something who reviewed that information and signed off on stuff. And then they moved it to, whoever would contact the doctor's office or create the paperwork that needed to be mailed out saying we approved your case or we didn't, things like that. So things that used to be able to just be entered into the system and do straight data entry. There's not a lot of companies due to AI and things like that hire for just straight reading off a document and entering what that document says into the system. That's what we really consider straight data entry. I type what I see on one form into a different computer system. Now there are companies that do hire to do that still, but they're starting to become few and far between. When you're looking for data entry work in today's world, you're going to be doing other things other than data entry too. A lot of data entry work is going to be in the healthcare field with specifically healthcare claims and stuff, but you're not just simply entering information into the system and moving it along. A lot of data entry now is going to require you to do other things like following up on claims. Specifically healthcare, you'll enter the claims into the system, but you also have to pick up the phone and do phone work and stuff as well, calling insurance companies, collecting additional information, things like that. So it's just changing a little bit. And so sometimes you can't really trust the data entry jobs that come up. And I'm saying all this to say I have two different companies that are legit companies that are hiring for data entry. But I do want to say over the last 2 to 3 years, I can't even think now of how long I have ran this YouTube channel. These data entry positions for these two companies literally continuously come up. And it's not like every 6 months. I see them on a monthly basis. About every 3 to 4 weeks, I see for Firstsource Solutions and Conduent both hiring data entry. I share them and I see other channels share them all the time. And so I'm starting in my own mind to wonder, are these companies have decent employee satisfaction ratings, but is it just a high turnover position? They just continue to expand and hire? Or is it like the ghost jobs things that people are talking about? I'm not sure. So I did want to share because these are those rare data entry jobs that people are looking for. and with legit companies. But again, I continuously see them all the time, so it's just a thing to think about. But with all that said, Firstsource Solutions has 3,500 reviews with an overall rating of 3.4 out of 5 stars. And they are looking for someone to do data entry. Now we'll go through these kind of quickly. They're looking for somebody to work 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're a little bit flexible in those start times. Pay for this one is just $15.25 an hour. And you're basically identifying and coordinating mail according to their guidelines. You're kind of performing electronic indexing. So as these scanned documents come into the system, you're processing them, you're kind of categorizing them, indexing them into the system so then they can get flowed into the correct department, whoever needs them. You're creating and validating those envelope tracking barcodes. Only requires a high school diploma and 1 to 2 years of data entry or some kind of processing experience. Somebody who can type 35 to 40 words a minute and have basic computer skills, great attention to detail, and basic communication skills. Now, I do think you're going to have to pass like a drug screen or background screen, something like that for this one. And of course, we have Conduent hiring. They have 11,000 reviews with an overall rating of 3.1 out of 5 stars. They are also looking for a remote data entry assistant, $15 to $18 an hour. They do have different shifts available. And again, they're looking for somebody to basically do that basic data entry. You're looking at those images that come in and identifying them, kind of categorizing them, classifying them into the system so they can get routed to the correct department. You will be verifying data from automated data extraction tools. So kind of like I was talking about, AI is kind of taking over. They already have kind of like an AI system who's extracted data and entered it into the system. You're just kind of double checking it, making sure the AI didn't make any errors, correcting those errors as needed. Just working within those established procedures, processes. No college degree needed with this one either, just a high school diploma, at least 18 years or older. You have to be eligible to work in the United States, type at least 40 words per minute, kind of know how to use a computer. Now, they don't hire in a few states. They have a few states they cannot hire in. Those are listed. All the states they can hire in are also listed. But again, pay kind of is on the lower end, $15 to up to $18 an hour. If you've made it to the end of this video, I owe you a huge thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I hope everyone has a fabulous day ahead, and I'll be back really soon with more work from home job leads just for you.